All right. All right. Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's really good? Okay. It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. Now, this is the Canelo Alvarez Jaime Munguia reaction. I just watched this fight. Very good fight. Went the full distance. Very good Cinco de Mayo weekend fight between two Mexicans. Canelo, undisputed super middleweight champion. Jaime Munguia, undefeated at 43-0 coming into this fight. I agree with the overall outcome of the fight. I don't agree with the judges' scorecards. I really watched this fight with a fine-tooth comb because, mind you, I had no rooting interest in this fight. Munguia started off very fast. Now, and the reason why I say I don't agree with the judges' scorecards because, and particularly, and the DAZN commentators seemed very, very biased when it came to calling this fight. Like, I know after 7 rounds, they were asking one of the commentators, how do you have the fight scored so far? And after 7 rounds, one of the commentators had it 6 rounds to 1 for Canelo. And me and my cousin are sitting there like, what fight are you watching? And then after 10 rounds, same commentator said he had the fight 7 rounds to 3 for Canelo. And again, we asked, what fight were they watching? Now, Canelo landed the more effective, landed the more eye-catching shots. I ain't gonna front. But it depends on what your preference is. And anybody who watches this who may want to disagree, that's fine. Leave your comments below. That's fine. I'll be glad to talk, and we can discuss it. We can talk about it. We did a lot when Terrence Crawford fought Ryan after Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fought. But again, I thought that Canelo won the fight. I just didn't think it was. Two of the judges had it very lopsided. One judge had it 117, 111. Another judge had it 116, 111 or 116, 112. And I'm like, what fight were you guys honestly watching? It depends on what your preference was. Power punches versus work rate. Now, early in the fight, the first 3 rounds, I thought Munguia won the first 3 rounds. He was on his toes, and I was very impressed with Munguia because I've watched his fights, and he's a come forward fighter. He kind of reminds me of Antonio Margarito because he was go forward. There never seemed to be a plan B in his fights. He's a pressure fighter, but he actually was using very good, very crafty boxing ability in the first 3 rounds. And in the 3rd round, actually rocked Canelo. Rocked him late in the round with a right hand. And I thought he won the first 3 rounds. And me and my cousin were like, damn, if he fights like this the whole fight, he really has a chance. But in the 4th round, Canelo dropped him. Munguia made a mistake trying to maybe getting a little too confident and engaged a bit into a firefight, and Canelo caught him with an uppercut. And after that point, Munguia kind of let off the gas with the power, and Canelo clearly felt more confident. As then, if you've watched Canelo Alvarez, I've watched Canelo his entire career. When he feels confident about the fight that he's in, when he feels that he's in control, he becomes the pressure fighter. Just like Miguel Cotto back in Miguel Cotto's heyday. When he feels like he can be the bully in the ring, he becomes the ultimate pressure fighter. But when there's a little bit of doubt, he becomes a boxer. After Canelo dropped Munguia, Canelo became a pressure fighter for the most part. It took Munguia about 3 rounds to recover from that knockdown. Me and my cousin thought that there was a huge possibility that he could get stopped, but he didn't. After about the 6th round, it seemed he had got a second win, and he came back and he started throwing punches. I scored the fight, the first 3 rounds for Munguia, the next 4 rounds for Canelo, including round 4, which was a knockdown, so that's a 10-8 round. The next 2 for Munguia, Then I had them alternating rounds. Canelo winning the 10th, Munguia winning the 11th, Canelo winning the 12th. On my scorecard, I had Canelo winning the fight 114, 113. To me, the fight was on the table coming into the 12th round. Now, we both know, now we all, if you're a true boxing fan, you have to know the politics of boxing. You have to know where the money lies, and the money still definitely lies with Canelo Alvarez. When it was round 9, all I said, Canelo, I said to my cousin, I said, all Canelo has to do is finish the damn fight on his feet, and he's landing the more eye-catching punches, even though Munguia in a lot of rounds are outworking them. Is outworking him. I had them winning both. I had both fighters winning 6 rounds apiece. The difference I had in the fight was the round 4 knockdown. And Canelo at times was very crafty. No, shout out to Canelo. Like I said, I thought he won the fight. But the scorecards that I saw were kind of ridiculous. Canelo winning by 6 points. What fight were you guys watching? I understand we want to see Canelo fight David Benavidez, but goddamn, let's call a fair fight. And again, I had Canelo winning. And what I was noticing through that fight is David Benavidez, who was at this fight, who was ringside at this fight, should be licking his chops, saying, whoa, because Canelo, I believe Canelo, had he really put his foot to the gas, and I understand this is Cinco de Mayo weekend, 2 Mexicans fighting each other, man, but you in the ring, fuck all that. He coming to take your title because Munguia came in there to win. I felt that there were a couple of times where if Canelo really put his foot on the gas, I thought that he really could have stopped him. What up, Orax123? How you doing, fam? Thanks for rocking with me. Thanks for rocking with me on this reaction video. So I thought if he put his foot on the gas, he really could have stopped Munguia. But I give Munguia credit. Like I said, if you watch the fight, I tell you what, if you watch the fight with the volume turned down and not listening to the commentators who were just giving Canelo, and Canelo deserved the credit, but like I said, the rounds that they had it as, if you watch the fight with no commentary on, you may see it differently as opposed to listening to the people narrating the fight, seeming kind of a little biased. And if you're the Zone, I understand, because Canelo, when the Zone started in 2018 or 2017, Canelo was the first huge superstar to sign on to the Zone, blah, 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 blah. He won the fight, but ain't no damn way he won it 116, 111. Now, there was one judge who had it 115, 112. Yeah, okay. All right. If you say so. But now, to me, that brings up the future of Canelo Alvarez, as he still is the cash cow of boxing, particularly with this suspension possibly looming over Ryan Garcia for the PED, for testing positive for PEDs in his fight with Devin Haney. What does this mean for the future of Canelo Alvarez? We all know what we want to see. I am a diehard boxing fan, have been a diehard boxing fan my entire life. I know I want to see Canelo fight David Benavidez. I know this. And like I said, if I was David Benavidez, I was surprised David Benavidez didn't jump in the ring and come up to the microphone when Canelo was getting interviewed. You want to get under somebody's skin. You want to let it be known, hey, I want to fight you. Sometimes you have to upstate. This is boxing, while it's the fight game, a lot of it is the entertainment game too. You want to let somebody know, hey, I want to fight you. Sometimes you kind of have to upstage them just a little bit in their performance. And that's going to be a great fight. If I was David Benavidez, I would walk out of the T-Mobile Arena tonight feeling very confident about my chance against Canelo Alvarez, if and when they do fight. And also, if I'm David Benavidez, you look at Jaime Munguia and say, I'm going to see that dude down the line. We're going to fight. And that will be, you put Benavidez versus Munguia, I believe that would be a Fight of the Year candidate. I believe Canelo and Benavidez would be a Fight of the Year candidate because Benavidez is more heavy-handed. He can land the same shots, if he landed the exact same shots on Canelo that Munguia landed, it will be a totally different fight. Totally. And I think that's a fight that needs to happen. It's a fight that the boxing public needs to see. That is a must-see fight. We have got to see Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. That has to be Canelo's next fight in September. I don't want to hear shit about Charlo. I don't want to hear shit about Terrence Crawford, who is 3 weight classes lighter than, well, 2 now. Crawford has moved up to junior middleweight. But I don't want to hear shit about Terrence Crawford or Jermall Charlo. Your next fight, my boy, needs to be against the guy who we've been wanting to see you fight for the last year. If boxing is going to surpass UFC and get back to the place when it comes to most important and most entertaining sports where it belongs, they need to start making the key fights happen. God damn it, when the fans want it to happen. Again, my wrap up for this fight is I had Canelo Alvarez winning this fight by 1 point. If you ask me what fight were you watching, I will counter and say, what fight were you watching? I would implore anybody to rewatch that fight and mute the television. Mute the TV. I have no rooting interest in this fight at all. I just wanted to see a great fight, and that's what I saw. I saw a great, great fight. I had no rooting interest, but I'm not biased either. Because sometimes if you're biased, that clouds your vision in terms of what is really going on in the boxing ring. Sometimes that happens. It clouds your vision as far as what's really going on in the boxing ring. And again, great fight. I think Canelo won. I'm not going to even sit here and say, well, Canelo didn't win that fight. Yes, he did. I believe he won, but I believe he won by 1 point. You know, that is what it is. That's just how I'm feeling. And we need to see Canelo versus David Benavidez. We have an exciting boxing calendar coming up. Boy, boxing is about to be lit over the summertime. And if you guys watch the podcast, and I would encourage any and everybody to watch the podcast, Sports Plus Life. We air on Monday, we air on Friday, and when football season is going on, we have a post-game show. So I would encourage anybody to watch Sports Plus Life. But if you have listened to me on my podcast for any of these last 5 years, you know that I am a diehard boxing fan. And when the boxing schedule is lit, boy, I'm a happy human being. So let's go over this schedule that's coming up. Again, congratulations, Canelo Alvarez. You retain your undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Now let's move on to David Benavidez. Okay, so we have coming up in next weekend, actually. Next week, next Sunday. Interesting. I guess that's from Australian time. We have Vasily Lomachenko versus George Kambosos Jr. for the vacant IBF lightweight title. I believe Lomachenko is going to win that fight. The Bivol Beterbiev fight has been postponed because of an injury. We have Tank Davis fighting Frank Martin on June 15th. I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that. We have Juan Franco Estrada versus Jesse Bam Rodriguez on June 29th. Meh. You know, and then also, what do we have? And of course, we have, June 15th, we have Tank. And then a month later, we got Mike Tyson getting back in the ring. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. And it's actually a professional bout. Mike Tyson need to go ahead and bust that ass. Hit him to the body the way Canelo was hitting Munguia to the body tonight. On August 3rd, we have Bud Crawford fighting Israel Matarov for the WBA regular junior middleweight title. I don't put any stock in regular or interim titles. You either the champion or you're not. So to me, that's just Terrence Crawford's first fight at junior middleweight. But on that same card, that card is bananas. You have Andy Ruiz fighting Jarrell Big Baby Miller. You have Isaac Pitbull Cruz fighting Jose Venezuela. You have Tim Zhu fighting Virgil Ortiz. You have David Morrell fighting as well. That rhyme, not on purpose. So to me, that's a lit fight card. And also in 2 weeks, we have the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world between Tyson Fury and Usyk. So yes, the official scorecards for this Canelo Alvarez Munguia fight was 117-110, 116-111, and 115-112. Two of those judges, I don't know what the fuck fight they were watching. I truly don't know. And I'm looking at ESPN scorecards to see if anybody had it like I had it, which was 114-113. I think I done went too far past. Son of a bitch. But it's all good. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. We all had the same person winning the fight. But yeah, I just had to do this fight wrap up because I watched the fight with a fine-tooth comb. It was a very entertaining fight. It was a great fight. A great fight, particularly for Cinco de Mayo weekend. Munguia and Canelo Alvarez both came to win. I thought if Canelo, he had some opportunities where if he stepped on the gas, he could have knocked Munguia out. But Munguia was game. He came to win. To me, there were several rounds where he simply outworked Canelo. It depends on what type of fight you were interested in, whether it was flashy punches or outworking your opponent. Either way. But this is Brandon Brevon Towns. I will see you on Monday at Sports Plus Life. We out this buh. Peace.